Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. This is Perry Williams. Today's interview is with Coach Donna Buckley of the Noblesville Millers. Welcome, Donna.
Thanks for having me, Perry.
You know, the one thing about it is, Donna, this, we're Noblesville's 14-3 right now. You only have 5 games left. The season's went pretty quick.
It's gone really fast. The kids and I were just saying that. We can't believe we're down to, like I said, the last month of the regular season.
Well, let's talk a little bit. We talked a little bit off the air, but let's, I've heard you make comments, in the parity of Indiana girls basketball today. It would be very, very difficult for a team to go undefeated. Okay, those are still very highly thought of in the state of Indiana as a basketball team, but they have lost 3 games. Let's talk a little bit about the season and some of the highs and some of the things that concern you. But there's no doubt that, in my mind, of being around this great group of young ladies, that they're ready for the tournament.
Yeah.
They're not looking at anything ahead or anything like that, but they're ready. So talk about the season a little bit, the ups and downs, and of course, COVID's played a big part of it again this season, not quite like last season, but still plays an instrumental role in it.
Yeah, I think COVID will definitely be a factor coming down the stretch here. You're seeing it everywhere. I won't be shocked if games get canceled or moved around. Hopefully that doesn't get too crazy, but definitely a concern with that. As far as the season, it's been great. Like I said, our kids are working hard, and obviously we played a really tough schedule. Some of the highs, I think going over to Homestead and playing so well there and really dominating a team that has 1 loss on their record. We have a number of opponents that if you look at their record, their only loss has been us. Even Garrett in 3A, their only loss was to us. So our kids have done a lot of really good things, competed against incredible competition, and like I said, we've lost 3 games, and all 3 of those are to really, really good basketball teams, 3 top 10 teams in the state. And like I said, we've beat several top 10 teams. As we talked about, if you don't play really well every single night on our schedule, you're going to get beat. And we had 3 of those. But like I said, overall, it's been great. And something we talk about a lot. I mean, you're not going to go undefeated. Our goal is never to be undefeated. We want to get better and learn from wins and losses. And I think we've done a good job of that. And our kids, as much as any group I've ever coached, like they come in every day, and again, we always talk about you can't get too high, you can't get too low, learn, and get better every day, and our kids want to do that. So wins and losses have all created opportunities for us to get better, and just trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, and the one thing, let's talk about the girls a little bit, because me being around them so much on and off the floor, they're a very unique group. I mean, we all know how great Ashlyn Shade is, and she's been that way. This is her 3rd year doing that, and it shows with all the recruiting that's going on, and the people that walk through this door to come here and watch Ashlyn Shade. Reagan Wilson is a sophomore, has done a great job at leading this team. It's no doubt she's the floor leader out there, and then of course. Meredith Tippner, a freshman that has just been unbelievable this season. But man, you have got a tremendous amount of role players. And the one thing about it is you're 9 deep. I mean, you can enter, you can change your rotation a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously those 3 you just mentioned are 3, I believe Indiana All-Stars, and I definitely think for sure Ashlyn's going to be that kid who's right there at Miss Basketball. She's an unbelievable talent, and like I said, Reagan and Tip are both D1 kids who, again, I also feel are, not trying to be partial, but I do think they're going to be Indiana All-Stars. But yes, those other kids have been huge for us. Caitlin Shoemaker's had an unbelievable year. She's a kid that, I mean, she can just go off. But she also has games where, and I would go to the Crown Point game, she didn't score in that game, but she took the reigning Indiana Player of the Year and held her to 2 points. And that kid got that shot really late in the game on a crazy, shot on the baseline. But her and Tippner, took turns guarding that kid and chasing her all over the floor and did a phenomenal job. And like I said, Brooklyn Smitherman, she's 6'5", junior, who's done just a great job for us. With the way we play defense, it's nice knowing you got a 6'5" kid in the paint who, if you make a mistake, she's going to come over and block that shot or just alter shots. And then obviously off the bench, we have a lot of kids who can come in and they've done a great job for us. Like I said, Ava Shoemaker's had some big nights for us. Danny Mendez had a game winner at Southeastern and has had great minutes for us as well. And then Brooklyn Ely, she's had some huge nights for us coming off the bench, just absolutely shooting the daylights out of the ball. And then, we've got some other kids, and like I said, we've got some COVID issues, so you're going to see some of our JV kids who also are with us play a lot more, and I think you're going to see some really good things from them too, and excited to see those kids have a chance to step on the floor and show what they've got.
The one thing I look back in the season, two definite places that I think that the Miller surprised a lot of people. Number one was the last play against Hamilton Southeastern to win that game. There is no one in that gymnasium thought that Danny Mendez would be taking that shot to win it.
Honestly, the way they had played, I just wanted the ball in Ashland's hands, and I honestly thought Danny would have a chance, but I really thought the play was going to go to Brooklyn Ely. When I drew it up, I just had Ashland catch on the move and going hard at the basket, and I figured Brooklyn Ely's kid would double, and she didn't come over. But if she did, again, Brooklyn had hit several threes that night, and I thought she would knock that down and win the game. But I also had Danny diving, knowing that if her kid went, Danny would either have an offensive rebound or a chance at a layup. And I was so happy for her, and great play. And again, I think that one of the things that when you look at that is the fact that, again, Ashland could have easily taken that shot. I mean, no doubt. But to make the right play and then for Danny to finish that was huge. And again, just a real trust in her teammates that sometimes I don't think we realize, how good of a passer Ashland is. And like I said, that was just a great play.
And I guess the other one was Crown Point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the job that Caitlin Shoemaker did coming down the stretch in that whole game of holding Crothers. And, the one thing I'm always amazed at Caitlin, when you look on the program, she's 5'4", but she is not afraid to go inside, take a shot, or to rebound with those gals and get the rebound. So she's that player that really makes a difference in Noblesville basketball.
She's fearless. If you think back to last year even, she's a kid who hit the game winner in the sectional championship. She hit the shot to send us to overtime against Homestead in the regional. She just, I don't know, she's just fearless or unaware. I don't know. We kind of joke with her, like, did you even know? Like, she's always going to go out and compete. Love that kid. Love how hard she plays. And again, absolutely unbelievable competitor. Like I said, from a kid who can score to have to work so hard on the defensive end against Carruthers, like, she didn't have much left in the tank to be able to try and score. And yet she was okay with that. She's incredibly unselfish. And again, I can't say enough good things about that kid. Like I said, she is genuinely just, everything that gives us a chance to be really special. She's one of those kids that makes all that happen.
And the one thing about it, I'll have to say that, we got beat by Bedford North Lawrence in that night game, and you could tell our legs were tired, okay? I'm not trying to make any excuses. But Caitlin came back that night and scored 11 points in that game. She's a great player in that position. Of course, her sister Ava, who comes off the bench, same way. There's been a lot of games that her and Ely have made a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Ball game.
In the Garrett game, Ava came off the bench and she had 19 in that game and led us in scoring that night. Brooklyn Ely, the night before, she led us in scoring. And as I mentioned, she had a big night against HSE. We have a lot of kids who can score. And that's awesome to be able to take that pressure off of Ashland and, not let teams put 2 or 3 kids on her, to have all those other kids who can step in and fill that role and are comfortable doing that now, especially as we've gotten older. As freshmen, a lot of times they wanted to, and they've kind of figured out that they can take some of that pressure off her. And like I said, we're a really good team when we've got those other kids looking to score.
Yeah, and also though, it's really benefited Ashland's game in the role of getting assists steals, rebounds. Her numbers for a great scorer are very, very good in all three of those.
Absolutely. Her shooting percentages are way up too. Like I said, she's not having to take as many challenged, shots. She's getting better looks because, again, she doesn't have 2 and 3 people running at her. So it's pretty awesome. Like I said, it's fun to watch. And again, Ashlyn's game is ridiculous. Like I said, she's as good as anybody, I've ever seen at the high school level, and definitely one of the best players in the country. And to just have other kids to go with her is, like I said, just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, you've pretty well had this week off. You've practiced, you've had some fun and doing some things with the girls. But one thing about it, this team loves each other both on and off the floor. It's unbelievable how when you see them come in here in the office after practice, before practice, hang around, and you don't necessarily get to leave as soon as practice is done.
No, and it's awesome. They're fun. Their chemistry is a big reason why they're so successful. They really do get along extremely well, and just a lot of fun. They're just awesome kids. Like I said, I can't even, like I said, I can't believe I get to coach this group. It's such an honor and an absolute blessing.
And so the next game coming up here is Mount Vernon on Tuesday night here at the Mill, okay, and Hamilton County TV will be here broadcasting, and we talked off the air a lot about coaches and everything, and longevity and all that, but you're going to face somebody at Mount Vernon you're very familiar with, is Julie Shelton, the head coach of Mount Vernon. So let's talk a little bit about Mount Vernon.
Oh gosh, Julie's one of those. When I was at Greenfield, she was there. I've been around Julie for 20 years. Coach Shelton she's a real deal. You don't even have to scout her. I know what she's going to do. She does the same thing, and she does it well. And there's nobody in the state who can do the things that she does, and consistently, for 20 plus years, run that matchup zone. And she coaches. A lot of people will run a matchup zone, but she is committed to it. Her kids know what they're doing. They communicate well, and they're really good at it. And it's so hard. I think our 1-3-1 is kind of that similar thing. If you don't do it every day, it's hard to teach your kids how to do it. And like I said, we're trying to teach our kids how to run a matchup zone, and that's a challenge. But like I said, we're working to get ready for it. But Julie's got a great team this year. Like I said, as always, they graduated her daughter, who had an amazing career, and but same thing, they just fill in other kids. And like I said, I'm not sure there's a better coach around than Julie Shelton. She's phenomenal, and we'll have our hands full for sure. We went over there last year and absolutely, PTSD from that game. But that's just what they do. And if you're not ready to play, you're gonna get beat. And so we'll have all we can handle against their matchup zone. And like I said, hopefully our 1-3-1 wins that. We can get them turned over a little bit and like I said, take advantage of our defense.
One thing about her over the years, she has always been good. I would love to see her record at home.
Oh,
because it has got to be off the charts, because it is very, very difficult to play at Mount Vernon.
It's difficult to play Mount Vernon anywhere, but definitely at home. And I'm telling you, she's just so good at what she does, and it just doesn't matter. They take the next group of kids and they all fill in that zone, and man, she coaches up. She's one of the more unique personalities in all of high school basketball. I absolutely love Julie Shelton, her intensity, and just every team that you watch her coach, she is very different with them. She knows how to handle things. She's good. Yeah, I'm definitely glad we're not going there this year, but they will come ready to go. I have no doubt about it.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy schedule, because with the Millers being 14-3 and everyone talking how great this team is and all the talent, sometimes your off the court has become very busy with talking to college coaches and interviews and stuff like that. So we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and making room for me and Hamilton County TV to do this interview. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I always have time for you. Like I said, you guys are great to us. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Coach.